are Shauna and Ashley's stories.
Hi, I'm Shauna Parson, and today I'm on Fabulous Women Making a Difference under Bad Parenting. Growing up, my mom was a serious alcoholic who didn't even know how to be a parent. There were times when I had to go without food or I had to eat expired food because she couldn't or wouldn't buy it instead of alcohol. And unlike most kids, I didn't get to do a lot of fun things like Girl Scouts and things like that because she didn't want to get out of bed to drive me or pick me up. And I didn't get to have a lot of sleepovers unless the other kids' parents would drive me. And growing up, I had some hard times with my grades because I wasn't getting a lot of sleep at home because there were no rules in my house. I didn't have to go to bed. And I had some behavioral problems, but ultimately, I turned out as a person who I just am really eager to follow the rules and make a difference in this world because I don't want that to be what defines me.
I'm Ashley, I'm 18. I was raised by my mom. Didn't go so well. Kind of a bitch, if you might say. I kind of had to take care of myself because she wasn't much around, so I learned to do things on my own. High school wasn't very fun. Got suspended a few times, slapped some hoes, cut a bitch, no big deal. This was fucking stupid.
Were you raised in a single-parent home?
Yes, my parents were both divorced and living in separate houses when I grew up.
My parents were together when I was younger and then divorced later in my life.
Okay, Dr. Jordan, what effect does that have on a child?
It has been shown that children who are raised in a two-parent household tend to have better behavior because the parents tend to parent similarly, so there's a consistency that children need. Whenever a child is raised in a two-parent household that is separate, they are not given that consistency that children need because parents tend to parent differently, and so because of that, they tend to have more disruptive behavior.
To what extent do you all think that the way that your parents treated you affected the way that you act?
I would say that my mom's influence on me was definitely a very strong one. The way that she parented me made me all the more eager to make a life for myself and be something better. And even now in college, with me living up here away from her, it motivates me that much more to become who I want to be so I can take care of my family someday the way she didn't do for me.
My mom did not do a very good job raising me as a child, and I had to fend for myself very often, and it had the opposite effect on me. I just don't care.
Dr. Jordan, can you elaborate?
It's been shown that parents who are considered bad parents tend to not care about their children, and whenever the children feel that they are not cared about, they oftentimes will just not care themselves. It's been shown that children who are lacking the parenting that they need will behave badly in school, especially when they're little. That's just the way that they deal with it. But on the other hand, it has also been shown that the way that you are raised as a child not only affects your behavior whenever you're small, but it affects it throughout your life. The way Shauna was talking about how she continues to want to make a better life for herself is a very common thing because the way that you are behaving as a child tends to stay consistent throughout your life.
Okay. Do you think that your mother's parenting is had the only effect on your behavior, or was it other factors that also affected your behavior?
Well, my mom had a really strong influence on me, even though it wasn't a good one, but I would have to say that the effects of my friends and their parents and what that had on my life, I'd have to say that that definitely influenced me in a positive way and turned me into a really positive person despite how I could have turned out, especially being under my mom's influence.
My mom was a big drinker, and I know that increases my chances later in life of becoming an alcoholic, and I can't help that I just want to drink. It's what I've been shown to do all my life.
Dr. Jordan?
This is the epitome of the psychological concept of nature versus nurture. Ashley gave into her nature because she didn't have anything to help her overcome it due to the way that she was raised. She didn't have any positive influences to help her overcome the obvious need for her to drink. Shauna, on the other hand, was able to overcome her nature through the nurturing that she received from her friends and her friends' families. So I think we can safely say that nurturing has a larger effect on your behavior than nature does if you are willing to try and fight it.
Thank you, Dr. Jordan.
Unfortunately, we have to go to break. But when we return, we will discuss George Clooney's sex